Your life experience, good or bad, is a gift when you share it with others. At Taxi Chronicles, we allow real riders with real stories to share their gift. So hopefully this episode will intrigue, enhance or inspire you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have a lovely lady from Hertfordshire and she's going to tell us about garment making and advising people. So nice to have you here today.
Nice to be here.
So tell us, what's a typical day like for you in the garment industry and what is it exactly you do?
So I am self-employed and my job is to advise brands on the fit and the sizing of their clothes. So I'll get called in when a business needs to do fittings. So the designers designed it all up and they get the first sample in from the factory, and then so I go in and there's a model and I go in with my sort of tape measure and my pins and so I do a dress fitting, and I might do that for a couple of hours, and then I'll have to go and just make a document for the factory, put a load of photos in, tell them what we want for the next sample, and then the factory make another sample. So that's the crux of it, and then there's lots of admin that goes with it, which isn't as interesting, but yeah, it's cool.
Okay, so when you're designing this, is it like you're thinking this is going to be for the large plus size person, or this is going to be aimed at the slimmer person, or
well, so most brands work the same way. You fit on they call them a fit model, and they're normally a size 10, and then so you make that fit, and then it's called grading. You just grade up or down. But I think what's really good at the moment is that more brands are becoming more interested in becoming inclusive to bigger sizes, because I think bigger people have just been kind of ignored by a lot of brands. So so that's a focus point, which I think is good.
Okay. Do you deal with men's clothes as well?
No, well, not really. You sort of tend to focus on women's wear, men's wear, and I've just sort of done more women's wear in my career.
Okay. What's your background towards this? What did you study?
So I went to St Martin's years ago, and I actually studied fashion history. It was kind of designed for people who wanted to become journalists and museum curators, but I kind of did the wrong degree really, because it was academic, and I think after doing the course I realised that I'm just not academic, and I needed to do something hands-on, but I just had no idea what I wanted to do. So I left uni, and I actually didn't figure out what I was going to do for a couple of years after I got back. I went away travelling and got back. I was a bit lost, and then it was a friend of mine who said, oh listen, she was a buyer, she was like, there's this thing called Garment Tech. She was like, it's really hands-on, and I think you'd really like it. So I went and did work experience. So I can't remember what I did. I did something like 3 days a week work experience, excuse me. And then I had a job in a call centre for I think I worked about 6 days a week. So I had a call centre job, and then I worked for free for this, company called Jaeger. I don't know if you know it. It's like an old, well, I don't know if they're still going, but it's an old British heritage brand. So I wasn't really qualified to do the job, but I just got on really well with the team, and they just offered me a job, and they were like, yeah, we know you're not qualified, but we like you. So yeah, I was in.
Okay. What have you learned that you wish you knew when you had started in this industry?
That nobody knows everything, and you never learn everything. I think there's an element of fake it till you make it. I always worried that I didn't know enough and that I had to know everything, and you have to be really good. And actually I think the people who succeed they don't worry about that. And I think it took me a long time to figure that out, is that you don't have to know everything, you just have to know how to find it out, if that makes sense. I think confidence is really important, and some people just have that naturally, don't they?
What kind of personality would someone need to have, especially if a younger person who's trying to get into the industry?
I think you have to be logical, methodical. It's kind of like a problem-solving job, because it's not just fitting. It's you have to deal with fabric and fabric issues. You do have to have quite a thick skin, because fashion retail, it can be a bit of a tough industry. But I think, if you've got thick skin, if you're methodical, logical, I think but you would you'd be fine. But a background in pattern cutting or fashion of some kind is obviously beneficial.
And they definitely need to do a degree, or can they just do an apprenticeship?
Well, I reckon you could. I don't know the answer to that. I reckon you could do an apprenticeship and get in. I actually don't think uni is that important. I don't know that I would go to uni again if I had my time again. I think it's fun, but I don't think it's like necessary.
Okay. Well, thanks. You've been a great host. One last quick question: what's the impact you want to have on the world?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out at the moment.
I like it.
That's the golden question.
Okay then, well, thanks a lot for that, and we wish you well. We hope you liked that Taxi Chronicles interview. Don't forget to share and subscribe to get the latest episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economies and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources. Listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. British Standard Time.